YouTube Ozzico in the Goat House is back with another fantasy football mock draft. This is the second one we're doing. We did another one, PPR, just like this one will be PPR 12 team, of course. The first one we had the 12th pick, and I kind of went through my mock and my strategy that way. So we're going to do another one different than the 12th pick. We can do more of these. We'll eventually maybe do one with kind of you guys involved. We can do a live mock draft, possibly. Follow us on Twitter to keep up to date, things like that. It's a way for us to interact with you guys. Like, subscribe to notifications on. Full NFL coverage here. A lot going on, getting ready for the season. So if you can join us, that'd be much, much appreciated. So, fantasypros.com is the website that has this mock draft simulator that's very cool. If you go on Google, type in fantasy mock draft simulator, something like that, this is probably the one that's going to come up at the top there. So same thing as last video. If you haven't seen that, check it out. I might be drafting some of the same guys no matter what the picks. There's certain guys that I like. We'll see. We're going to learn here. I'm going to randomize this pick. We're not going. Hopefully don't get 12th again, because I would have done it again. 6th, that's perfect. So halfway in between there, we can start the draft with the 6th pick. So this should be interesting. I had the 12th pick last time. I got Davante Adams, who I always end up with, but I don't think I'll be ending up with this one perhaps. I am usually a receiver early guy, and when it works out, when I do very well, but that's normally when I kind of get a late first-round pick and it works out. So here we are. I had Najee Harris last year, and he was a beast, and he should be improving this year. So I'm going to pull up a different page here. This cheat sheets page kind of gives you their rankings. I'm not going off their rankings, but it kind of gives you an idea of who's available, kind of the top guys available here. So I like the options here. Najee Harris, Dalvin Cook, Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, a couple good Vikings there. Jamar Chase. God, Cooper Kupp was I'm a receiver guy. He was so damn good last year. We know Jefferson's good. He's actually getting better, and now you get that maybe more of a pass-involved offense with O'Connell coming in there in Minnesota. That's pretty damn appealing. Jamar Chase was so good for me last year. Davante Adams. Somehow I ended up with Chase, Adams, and Stephon Diggs last year. I drafted Adams and Diggs with my first 2 picks, and I ended up stealing Chase. There's just so many good receiver options, the running backs. I think because I'm mostly a receiver guy, but in this scenario, tough scenario for me here, because I'm usually that receiver in the first round guy, but because I think there's a big difference between, you take a look at Harrison Cook, fantasy-wise, Harrison Cook, I think there's a pretty big drop-off. Mixon should be a lot better this year because that run blocking should be better. But Harrison Cook, I think there's a big-time drop-off after that. There's not much of a drop-off between some of these receivers. So I'm looking at these 2 running backs, and Cook, it sounds like, should be pretty damn involved in the pass-catching game, the passing game. He does have some injuries pop up. I liked having Najee last year. That's kind of what they're building this team around. He's very, very reliable, durable. Give me Najee. Give me Najee there. I'm normally not the. Here we are. All right, we got some really good receivers left. I did want to end up with Justin Jefferson probably, but unfortunate. But it's all right. We got Tyreek Hill and Mike Evans. Very good options. Keenan Allen, I think, will have a strong year. Debo, it's a little bit up in the air. Tyreek with Tua, though. That's a tough part there. We do have Mark Andrews as well. Mark Andrews is an absolute beast. I thought he played like the best tight end in football last year, so he's available. Tyreek with Tua, that's tough, though. How they'll just get Tyreek the ball. They didn't trade all that and pay all that to not get Tyreek the ball. They will get him the ball. Give him to me. Give me Tyreek Hill there. So we still got a star receiver, and we got that top-tier fantasy running back who I loved having on my team last year, and I think he'll continue to improve. So we're on the clock again, and there's some really good receivers still. And then we got George Kittle, Darren Waller. I'm looking through, and I'm looking at Keenan Allen and A.J. Brown right there. A.J. Brown, how will he be with Hurts? I'm kind of, Keenan Allen's going to be solid too. Oh, that's a 50-50. I can't go wrong here. I can't go wrong with either of these guys. And I had T. Higgins in my other mock. I think Pittman will be strong with Matt Ryan. I wouldn't take Waddle with Tyreek Hill. Just wouldn't do it. Mm. We're gonna go. Give me A.J. Brown. I'm going to do it. Give me A.J. Brown. That's a guy that just should be so simple for Jalen Hurts to give him the ball. You know, it shouldn't really much of a problem on who his quarterback is. So I'm going to go A.J. Brown there. And then we could kind of see my roster if I can move it over on what I got going so far. That is not my roster. That is my roster. So we got Najee Harris, Tyreek Hill, A.J. Brown. So looking at the quarterbacks, and I'm a guy that starts to look at the quarterbacks right now. You know, and I keep saying it because quarterbacks, you know, should get the most points on your fantasy team. So why change that? You know, why miss out on those points? So I don't usually take them extremely early, but I like getting one of those sure thing star quarterbacks that are going to consistently get you those points, because that's kind of a problem. Even though there's some really good quarterbacks, it's kind of a problem getting that consistent points. And I got Lamar with my last one, and I guess maybe that's the problem with doing so many mocks. You don't want to like force getting the same guy. But I'm going to give Justin Herbert a whirl. And you know, I was thinking about Keenan Allen that last pick. I ended up going A.J. Brown. I kind of like that. I have an A.J. Brown and then Justin Herbert, so we're not relying on both those guys there. Didn't mean to highlight that. Kind of want to move this over again. So could use another running back. I like that we got one of the top guys there in Najee Harris. I am usually a best available guy, so we'll take a look at the receivers as well. And the tight ends, you got Darren Waller. There's actually I think there's a drop off after that. Some really good tight ends. I like Freiermuth too. There's a very good value guy there if we want to wait a little bit. Take a look at these running backs. I had Elijah Mitchell in my other one. I could very well end up with him again right now because there is a pretty big drop off, I think. Chris Godwin's sitting there though. Man. Chris Godwin is pretty low, I guess, because he's coming off that injury. But Juju's pretty low too, probably because he gets injured. But Juju with Patrick Mahomes, there are some good options here. I think that's the problem here because I'm probably gonna end up with Elijah Mitchell in both these mocks here. There's some good options for me. I like Elijah Mitchell. I like a lot of guys, but I like Chris Godwin. I like Juju Smith-Schuster, and I like Darren Waller. Now, those are some big-time options right here. And we already got our quarterback. We already got 2-star receivers. We got a star running back, so I really like where we're at here. While having boxes filled, we got some good options. I'm gonna go Elijah Mitchell. I had him last year. I had him in my mock draft, the last mock draft video I did, and I'm gonna get him again here. So I think there's a pretty big difference. Like there's good running backs here. I just don't feel great about those other ones. I feel pretty damn good about Elijah Mitchell there. So, and here we are. Darren Waller's gone. That was one of my good options there. And Chris Godwin is gone, which is really good value. I would strongly consider that. Juju's still there. I last mock I got Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who I like as well, but I do like Juju. So he's very good if he's healthy, and he's got Patrick Mahomes now going from an aging Big Ben to Patrick Mahomes. Give me Juju here. It's an option I like. All right. Dallas Goedert. Do I go with 2 Eagles pass catchers? I like Freiermuth. We might be able to wait another round for that. We got some good options here. I like Lockett. I know he doesn't have Russell Wilson anymore, but he's still Tyler Lockett. Gabriel Davis was taken off last year. I got A.J. Brown, so I don't really want Devontae Smith. Drake London could be that number. He will be that number 1 receiver for the Falcons. I like Robert Woods there. Oh, man. Chase Claypool. Some really good options at receiver, running back. We're starting to run. I got Damien Harris last time. I felt good about that one. Now I'm starting to think, could they be starting to gear towards another running back because they're gearing towards letting Damien Harris walk free agency? I still think Damien Harris will be the guy this year. Just like J.C. Jackson. Like, he was their guy. They started him at corner. He got the most snaps at corner. I know running back's different, but then they let him walk. So it's not like the Patriots aren't really that team that, like, prepares. They prepare with signing guys and drafting guys, but, like, on the field, like, they're going to use Damien Harris still. But there is some risk there for the reasons I explained. But I like a lot of these receivers here. I'm going to go. And Burke, the idea of Burks in Tennessee is great because he can kind of fill that. He can be that A.J. Brown. I just don't love what I've been hearing so far. Like, he hasn't really been able to stay out in the field. I know it's very, very early. Definitely no reason to panic, but I've not been loving what I'm hearing. Him kind of out of shape. I mean, I can't really be out there. I'd be more of a Robert Woods guy, perhaps, who I'm really thinking about here. And then Lockett. Lockett's just such good value down here, though, too. But I do like Robert Woods. Like, I think that'll be the guy that gets all those touches on Tennessee. Lockett's just too good of a player, I think, to pass on here. So we're gonna go with Tyler Lockett. Hopefully they trade for like Baker or someone like that. That would help. But I mean, even if you're poor at quarterback, like Geno Smith, Drew Lock, he's still gonna get the receivers are still gonna touch the ball. So I think we get pretty good value in Lockett there. Tight end, I wanted Freiermuth. Can I gamble and wait another round to get Freiermuth or Goddard? Two good options. That's kind of how it's always been too, though, with tight ends. Like, if you don't get a top-tier guy, Kelsey, Andrews, we can throw Pitts in there, some of these other guys in here, then you're better off just kind of waiting. An option I really like if you're going to wait is Gerald Everett. That's a really good option there. Will Irv Smith Jr. finally break out? He's got to stay healthy. Then he can very well break out. But these guys are still very solid options here. So I kind of might be going against what I normally do because I like these guys. But kind of looking at best available still. I just really don't know who's going to get the load for Miami. It's very tricky to figure out. It's not the best running backs available right now. I got two running backs. I like my starters, but yeah, not feeling great, about the depth at the running back position. I like some of these rookies. I got Cook and Algier in my last mock. I like those guys. It may seem risky. I really like those guys, though. I'm not really in love with a lot of these guys here. Kareem Hunt, perhaps. Kind of going back to the receivers, which I do have a lot of, but there's just... But the talent there is looking very good. I got Christian Kirk, my other one. I don't really want to take him in two mocks, but I do like Christian Kirk. That's a possibility here. Might be looking at, maybe Chris Olave. I think will be a stud for the Saints this year. Michael Thomas come back. They did get Jarvis Landry, so does that take away from Olave? I like these receivers here still. I think. Got my guy Valdes-Scantling sitting there. There's some really good options at receivers. So this is where it gets tough. I'm going to grab, and Goddard's still sitting there as well. Goddard and Freiermuth. I ran out of time probably here, but just can't make up my mind. There's just too many good options here. So I don't know how I feel about having Goddard and A.J. Brown. I think Pickett's really good throwing in the middle. If I think Pickett will be their starter, a lot of people are Trubisky guys. I think he is strong throwing in the middle of the field, and I think that's where Freiermuth can come into play there. I'm going to take him. Something about him. I'm liking him here for the tight end position this year, so I'm actually going to grab him. And then we see some receivers off the board. Actually, a lot of the good ones that I was talking about came off there. I really like Valdes-Scantling, but I took Juju Smith-Schuster as well. I like both of them. There, you got Jameson Williams if you want to stash him, and he should be back early in the year. Pretty good option there. Running backs. I don't love the options besides the rookies. I like some of these rookies, James Cook and James Robinson's actually sitting there. That's interesting. I don't even think I noticed him in that last mock draft. James Robinson's incredible value down here. Give me James Robinson. Like, are they going to they really use ETN like that much? I think they're going to start James Robinson there. I know he got, has that injury, but give me James Robinson there. You take a look at the receivers again. I like Valdes-Scantling. Do I want to load up on two Chiefs receivers, though? That's the question. Because I have Juju. I'm maybe feeling pretty good about taking Jameson Williams and kind of stash him a little bit because once he comes back, I think I know Amon-Ra St. Brown really took off last year. They got DJ Chark, but Jameson Williams is their best receiver, their receiver one, if when he's in there, when he's going to be in there. So just keep in mind that I really like Valdes-Scantling for this year. They do have Sky Moore, who I really like too. I think those Chiefs receivers, having all those options, the more I'm talking about, the more I'm liking it. I like Jahan Dotson too, a pretty good option. Another rookie receiver that I really like, and I'm gonna do it. Devontae Parker could be solid too at the Patriots. They traded for him. The other receivers didn't really work out. Could Parker have one of those monster seasons like he had a couple years ago as well? That's possible. Gallup's another guy that could miss a game early on, but should be pretty productive after that. I'm feeling Jameson Williams though. I'm not a guy. I'm a guy that's not afraid to draft the rookies here, as you can tell. My last couple of mocks, I'm probably going to take more of them too. Some of these guys are really making a big impact these days. So we're going to need and so I'm going to go best available here. And I'm going to go, I had Ramondre Stevenson last year. Do they kind of gear towards him? It's a big question. Big question mark there. Unless they, or if they do that, if they continue, or they draft a Pierre Strong as well, do they give him some? It's tough. I really like, drafted my last one, I really like Tyler Algier. I think he's going to be, for most games this year, the starter of the Falcons starters, I was trying to say. So I'm going to take him. To me, there's a lot of potential on that one. It's kind of a boomer bust guy, so I like him. So I end up with him in both as well. We'll take a look at quarterbacks. Looking at Trevor Lawrence and Trey Lance here. So what bye did Justin Herbert have? Does it say week 8 over there? It says, and week 8, take a look at Trevor Lawrence. The bye of week 11. On week 8, he plays, that's stats, we want games. Week 8, he plays the Broncos. It could be a pretty tough, can't base it all off that though, just 1 week. But if I'm kind of deciding between two guys, we can. And he plays the Rams. Give me Trevor Lawrence here. I think a big step up this year for him. So I like having him as my backup quarterback. And then we can grab another tight end, and I feel like I'm going to go with Gerald Everett. I like Gerald Everett for this year. Hunter Henry was a touchdown machine. It's a good option as well. Hooper might be solid because he really fits that Titans offense. Hooper I actually like. I think the Titans will get him some touchdowns in the red zone. But we know Hunter Henry gets those touchdowns as well. So it kind of gives you an idea of my 3 options. Some 3 guys. If you're waiting for a tight end, or if you or if you're getting your second one, those are guys I really like. I think it's really good value around here. Albert O, the Broncos too. Because remember they moved on from Noah Fant, who's available. That could be a pretty good option. But I look at Hunter Henry. I look at Gerald Everett. Austin Hooper, I'm telling you, I think he's going to be a lot better on the Titans than he was the Browns. Kind of really fits that Titans offense. I really like Gerald Everett, though. So you see how, that's kind of a must-have guy. We're kind of making a must-have video out of doing these mocks. You see, I really like Elijah Mitchell, apparently. I really like I like Marcus Valdes-Scantling. I didn't take him twice. I like Tyler Algier, some sleepers. Tyler Algier, Gerald Everett, some of those guys there. So, all right. And like I said in the other one, I take kicker second to last, and I take defense. I always take defense last. It's worked out for me. I end up playing defense pretty much by week. Sometimes I'll hang on to that defense for 1 week. Sometimes it's 2 weeks. Sometimes it's 3. It's really ever that much more than that, unless I just picked up a gem. But that's kind of what I do. And it's kind of worked out. So looking at kickers, I had Matt Gay last year in the league I won, so I'm going to go Matt Gay. I liked Tyler Bass, good there too. There's a lot of good options, but I go Matt Gay. And then defense, I probably end up doing the same thing. I would take the Browns. It's worked out. That's what I got in the other mock. I think it's a good. I like the first 2 games, first 4 games for them, so that helps. I think it'd be a really good defense with their pass rush, their secondary. That secondary was it was already good, but you can see it was one in the works for future kind of elite, and the time could be now for to take even a bigger step up. So basically, I think they'll be playmakers there, get their hands on the ball. That's what I mean by that. I like the Browns defense, so C-. They gave me a C+ the last time. These things never really agree with me, but I trust myself here because my strategy, my instincts have always worked out for me. So that's why I'll trust myself. So I got 2 top-tier receivers. I think Juju Smith-Schuster, we were kind of viewing him as a top-tier receiver. I mean, he was one of the youngest receivers to hit X amount of yards. I think he was that receiver until Justin Jefferson. And that's because he was healthy and Big Ben was playing some pretty good football. Big Ben declined. Juju got hurt, and that's still the concern. Could Juju get hurt? But now he goes to the Chiefs offense that have been desperately looking for that true slot receiver. And Patrick Mahomes, Juju's healthy right now. I think he'd be very productive. So I like the value on Lockett. Really good value. James Robinson, I think, is really good value. Everett's good value. What I like about this one is, because, again, I said it last time, mainly I get the top-tier pass catchers first. I didn't do that, but I feel like I got top-tier pass catchers. I didn't do that, and I got a top-tier fantasy running back, Najee Harris, who I had last year and loved, and I still got some top-tier pass catchers in Tyreek Hill and A.J. Brown. So I think looking between the 3 of those guys, I think it's looking pretty loaded there. There's a lot of fantasy points there, and I got getting fantasy points a lot with Justin Herbert, my quarterback, so really liked what I got going there. I don't know which team I like better. I don't think I'm going to be able to choose here. So, but you see some similarities, mainly where my focus, my strategy's at, where some of the sleepers, the must-have guys are. So I'm just a little bummed they gave me a C-. Not that I think that means anything, because it feels like, I always get the emails after my actual draft, like how I did, like a grade and what my record will be. And it always says I'm going to do bad or decent, and I always end up doing very well. So I'm not really taking it too seriously there, but yeah, because I don't really agree with their rankings a whole lot. They got some steals like way down there, but yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts. We can do more of these different versions. Again, we can do ones with you guys involved in the future, like maybe a live stream, a live mock draft there. Always taking suggestions in the comments, mainly on Twitter. If you tweet at me, I get back to you, or I see it for like 99% of the time. So check us out there. Link down below. Like, subscribe, turn notifications on me. Much appreciated. It's going to do it for this one, though. Goodbye.